You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Get serious. That's number one. I don't know any substitute for that. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got a half a dozen jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. And you must get serious about two very important things. Number one is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. And for that all to work out like you want it to for the next 5 or 10 years, in my personal opinion, you've got to get serious.
We just do better out west because we're coming with that grit. Because it's cold. Because we deal with snow. We have to deal with people on a day-to-day basis on the trains and subways and buses and like just walking through the streets of New York. Like it's a different grind. And LA's, it's a little bit more laid back. You know what I'm saying? It does have an effect on your ambition sometimes out there. And for me, just coming from where I come from, bro, and like just understanding that, man, I'm built different. Period. I was built different, man, and I've always had an eye at a discipline and a work ethic that I've had at a young age. That I just apply it to everything that I want to do. So I would say that, I rarely go out, reading, you know what I'm saying, trying to reverse engineer how to be successful. Like, how do I, start my own production company? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I always felt like if other cats was out partying and I was home studying, I would have an edge.
Most important here is it isn't me. It's you. And sure, you may have grabbed some little foothold from the podcast or from one of the books, but it isn't me that changes you, it's you. You set the small goals, you achieve those goals, then set some more and achieve those and set some more goals, maybe a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. You pay attention to the progress. This guy is 16 weeks deep. 30 pounds lighter, working harder, stronger, faster, more efficient, competitive. The individual that wrote that is getting after it and changing his life. And you can too.
But if there's one piece of advice I can give to anyone that's watching this video, it's stay fucking delusional.
To accomplish great things,
we must not only act, but also dream.
Not only plan, but also believe.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible.
How does it feel to be the champ?
I always thought I was the champ of the world.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion.
Because delusion is only delusional when you don't accomplish the goal of making your delusions a reality. Right.
When I had nothing, I already knew I was driving like Ferraris and Porsches and stuff because I always wanted those cars.
Which probably got you a lot of crap.
I did. People made fun of me.
I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car and visualizing good things in times of struggle.
It's always in my head. I'm always thinking about it.
Inside, you know it's gonna happen. Even if it's a delusion, you really know it's gonna happen.
The very fact you can see it is all the proof you need to know you could get it.
Everything is possible in your life when you believe.
I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality.
You're not looking to get further than them, you're looking to finish. How do you know you're on the right path? Where do you go to ensure that? Do you talk to your neighbor? No, you don't talk to him. I'll tell you about the neighbor, guys. That neighbor's gonna come in, man, and if you're a little chubby, a little overweight, you'd be like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing a routine, man, or getting a training program where I lose some weight. He's gonna encourage you at first. He's like, yeah, you should. Basically insulting your ass, and you're fat, and you need to lose some weight. It's never support, it's negative shit. Oh, you should lose some weight. So you take his advice, and you start training, you start doing something, you start to get in shape a little bit, maybe at his level. Then all of a sudden he's gonna start asking questions, his tone's gonna shift, especially as you get in better shape than him. Then he's gonna start talking shit. Because what happens now, guys, is that your success is like a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities.
The next year is gonna go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. I mean, we're sitting here right now at the end of February, and the next 10 months are going to go by whether somebody is working to make change or whether they're not. And they may think, oh my God, I'm so far overweight, I'll never get it under control, or I'm so behind in my bills, or I'm so, just depressed, or everything is so out of control. Well, you know what? You make those incremental changes, and then, pretty soon in December you go, hey, I'm way better off than I was at the end of February. So you made little changes and they all added up. And if you don't, by the end of the year, you're just in deeper. So every little bit matters.
Because a lot of people will, and some of these motivational people out here, it's the funniest thing in the world to me. They'll go and say, when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest, fucking look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume. The things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You don't need to pound your chest in the mirror anymore if you have that.
Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where? So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious.
I've got a good question for you. Why not you? Why not you?
You can have, do, or be anything you want.
And I pray that all of you guys can make big purchases like this. I know you all can. Manifestation is so real.
We can have whatever it is that we choose. I don't care how big it is.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
Anything can be done. Anything.
What kind of a house do you want to live in?
Do you want to be a millionaire?
What kind of a business do you want to have?
Do you want more success?
What do you really want?
You have to have a dream if you want to make a dream come true.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, who am I? Where am I going? What do I want to accomplish?
Everything changes.
When you change the way you think.
Change your thinking and you change your life.
Understand that you're no different from anyone who is living your current dream life, and that you're fully capable of doing it yourself.
There are a million ways to die. Only two ways to live. Rich or poor. Don't get me wrong, I'm not apologizing for a damn thing. But when I look at my life, I don't see no other way.
See yourself mentally. You've been given the faculties to do that. Use your imagination. See yourself already in possession of the good you desire.
To fall asleep.
You must first
pretend to be asleep.
That's how it works.
When things go wrong, they always seem to happen at once, and they just compound on top of each other. And it's pretty easy sometimes to feel beaten when you're faced with all those issues and all those problems, and they all hit you at the same time. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean give up. In fact, it means the opposite. It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the war path.
Literally saw myself in the mirror. I saw the truth versus saying, my dad did this to me from beating me, kids in school from calling me nigger did this to me, my life did this to me, my fucked up broken foundation did this to me. I took that and said, you know what? Well, some people may help this happen, but now I have to own this. No one's gonna come back to save me. No one's gonna come back on this fucking couch and say, hey, it's okay. You're gonna be okay. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be okay. I had to realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was, what the world and myself created. It created a very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. And I saw that as very pathetic. When you look at the truth, it becomes very ugly and pathetic.
Success, many will love you for it. The majority will hate you because your success makes them feel insufficient in their current endeavor, reminds them of where they could have done it but they came up short and how they didn't revisit it, where they went at it and failed, and failure is what stood. They never revisited it again. The difference between a winner and a loser, the failure is there every single time. It's just the winner gets back up and does it again and does it again until it goes his way. So now you're down that path and you're all alone. How do you know you're on the right path? How do you know what you're doing is in the right direction? If you're wondering if you're on the right path, look at the small things of life.
If I'm eating food, I'll save the best for last. You know what I'm saying? I'll eat around it to the one part that I really want to eat. I'm gonna save that. I'm a delayed, you know what I'm saying, gratification. I'm that type of person. So like, I'm literally like, all right, I will party later. I work hard now, so the second half of my life I can do whatever the fuck I want. That's been my mentality. It's like, I'm not going to trick off my early years for partying and then worry about struggling, how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to take care of my family, how I'm going to take care of everybody else. Like, that's not going to be me. I'm going to grind it out now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to set up the foundation so I can enjoy myself later. That's always been my mentality, and that is what that works for me.
Between confidence and competence. So what you're looking to do is try and have what you believe that you can do be ahead of what you can do. Now, you're not looking for it to be delusional. You don't want it to be able to believe that you can do something like fly, right? But you need to have a relationship between the two. But what people are asking for is for their confidence to be so far ahead of their competence that, or without having even been competent at anything in the beginning. And that's just delusion. That's fantasy.
Just start. Start small. Start with changing tomorrow morning. Just tomorrow morning. Get that squared away. And then move on to the next day and the next, and move your life to a better place. One little step. One little victory at a time.
Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things, because discipline is major step one toward personal progress. And anytime a person wishes to, they can make major changes in their life, personally and socially and financially. It doesn't ever have to be the same after today. No telling what you could do today if you really wish to. The act of murder is a clear indication that a person in one drastic act can forever change the course of their life. It just happens to be in the negative direction. What I would ask you to do, starting today, is get excited about committing an act that's positive, an act that's constructive, to make the changes in your life that you want made, and to go the direction that you want to go.
The first million is hard, but the second million is inevitable. And of course, the reason for that is this. As Jim Rohn used to say, he said,
set a goal to become a millionaire. Here's why. For what it will make of you to achieve it. Set a goal that'll make you stretch that far. For what it will make of you to achieve it. Once you become a millionaire, you can give all the money away. It's not what you get that makes you valuable, it's what you become that makes you valuable.
Every little comment, every small setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth is, the most unshakable people don't have fewer problems, they've just mastered how they react.
The brain does not know the difference between the outside world event and what you're imagining in your mind. To the brain, it's exactly the same.
Sit down, relax completely, and begin to visualize the life you truly want. See yourself living it, not someday, but now. Then write it down in the present tense. I am so happy now that... Read it each day, carry it with you, and let the idea settle into your being. Every great teacher through history has pointed to one truth.
We become what we
think about. It may seem like a fantasy at first, maybe even a lie, but if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it. Our thoughts control our feelings control our actions.
It boils down to the idea that if you're able to conceive it and believe it, well then, you can achieve it.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah, what's up? Question for you. Is this your Rolls Royce? Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out here in Tampa to be able to afford a Rolls Royce?
I am a consultant, business consultant.
Are you an entrepreneur?
I am definitely an entrepreneur.
How long have you been a business owner for?
I've been a business owner for 39 years.
And could I interview you real quick?
Sure.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Most amount of money I've ever made in a single year, $15 million.
$15 million. Have you ever been broke before?
I was broke for the first part of my life. Then I made millions of dollars, and then I was broke again. And now we've set it up in such a way that that doesn't happen anymore.
What separates middle class from wealthy people in today's world?
Poor people and middle class people feel like everything's expensive because they pay for everything with money they've exchanged for time for, and they feel like they're paying for everything with their life because they are. Wealthy, creative entrepreneurs like yourself, like myself, we pay for things according to our creativity. In other words, we create an offer to pay for everything we buy, so everything costs the same amount.
We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. No, bro, I'm gonna say it again. Like,
I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great, but there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection.
When you wash your car, you spend an hour washing your car. You finish washing, you put the hoses and everything away and the brushes. You come outside to look at the job you did, but you notice the spot's missing. What do? Do you re-grab the hoses, pull it all out, and finish the job right? Or do you say, that's good enough? That's good enough. Because the thing about good enough is we don't know if it's enough. Until the nth hour, the final hour, and everything's on the line. That's when we find out if it is enough. And if we come up short, man, doesn't that suck? If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. What I'm saying is the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and when it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won.
So if you'll say before you go to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And if you'll say when you get up in the morning, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And if all day long you say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me, you'll find that as you go to sleep the next night, and try this today, it's a very powerful exercise. It sounds a little bit corny, but it's a very powerful exercise. If you'll try it, you'll find that when you go to sleep, you will not be able to think of all the wonderful things that happen to you. You'll just be surprised that your parking spaces will open up and friends will call and you'll get checks in the mail. Just your life will be a series of really positive, happy experiences.
I remember when I was in high school, I would wake up super freaking early because I was in California on PST. I would wake up at like 4 a.m. I would get in a cold shower and I would be in there and I'm like, I'm a profitable trader. I'm a millionaire. I'm driving a Lambo. I'm like saying all this crazy shit. And it sounds crazy at first, but then if you repeat those things over and over and over again, you're going to eventually just start taking actions that kind of confirm those things. And then eventually you kind of turn into that person that you want to be.
But it all starts with being delusional enough to understand that you are capable of doing it, and delusional enough that you will make it happen.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
You are what you think about. Everything that you think about, you become. You become what you think about. Thoughts lead to actions. Actions lead to behaviors. Behaviors leads to lifestyle. Lifestyle determines your destiny. So everything begins in the mind. If you can control and wield your mind, you can very much determine your destiny. Broke people and successful people are both self-made, but only the rich and successful will admit it. They're the only ones that will admit it. The person that's broke, that's struggling, it's hard for them to admit that they are there because of the way that they think. Control your mind, and you control your future.
Get excited about your potential. Human capacity is usually never the problem. Little children can learn several languages. We can learn to do the most incredible things. All we need to do is take the time to do it. So it's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter of judgment. It's a matter of excitement. It's a matter of will. And it's a matter of wanting to bad enough. So it's pretty exciting to know that any day you wish, you can change your life. Any day you pick out, you can make major changes. It doesn't ever have to be the same again. And that's exciting. Knowing that intellectually and personally, you can actually do the things that will make major changes in your life.
Whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
I'm scared. I'm scared because I know that there are so many of you that graduate this month and have no fucking idea what you want to do. And that's okay. Most people don't. You should not be stressed about that. I'm actually not scared about that. I'm scared that you don't realize that you're entering the greatest 5-year window of your life. If you are 22 years old and graduating from college, if you're 22 years old and not graduating from college, if you are 22 years old, you are entering, first of all, some of the greatest years of your life, A, but B, this is...
Stars are here, look.
Oh, no way. The walk, what's it called? The Walk of Fame?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame, nice. I couldn't give a about the Hollywood Walk of Fame, yeah, but that... I'm not looking to get my name on no Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean?
I hear that, bro.
I'm looking to get that belt. Well, to be honest, I'm not even looking at getting that belt because in my mind I already have the belt. The belt is already mine. I carry myself like I have the belt.
You've got to assume that it's already happened. You've got a picture of it in your mind. Mentally, it's already happened. It's happened because I've got the idea in my conscious mind. If I didn't have the idea in my conscious mind, I couldn't talk to you about it. The very fact I can talk to you about it means that I've already got it. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. I'm already emotionally involved in the goal that I've got. I've got it intellectually, I've got it emotionally.
You are a mental creature. The only thing that makes you truly unique is your mind. Everything else you have in common, your mind is what makes you unique. Your body simply carries your mind around.
If you visualize before, you will be more prepared for that moment.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There's a lot of stressful years. You know what I mean? A lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right.
Are you not visualizing the fight?
Yeah, always.
You are.
I always visualize my fight. I know, okay, if this happened, I'm gonna do this, everything.
The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Why? It's because the rich think about wealth and affluence all the time. And what do the poor think about? The poor think about lack, loss, and limitation, risk, danger, fear, failure all the time. So if you want to unlock your potential, you have to keep your mind on what you want. Dwell continually on the results you desire.
Man, listen, pay attention, guys. It's 1,700 millionaires created every single day. Any one of us can be one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Fun fact, I became one of those millionaires on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday. Wasn't special, wasn't a holiday, it was a random Tuesday. So if I know I can do it, you can do it as well, because nothing about me fit the millionaire description, right? I was just a lazy guy working a job that was only paying me $8 an hour. Until I said, I have to do something, I have to change my life. So I don't want nobody to think that this is just something that's made for only a few people in the world. Yes, it's the top 1%, but remember, 99% of people either don't know or not trying to actually become an active millionaire. So remember, 1,700, and you can be one any day of the week. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody came to save me.
Well, I always knew that I would be successful. It was never a question of whether or not I would be successful. It was just a matter of time. And you're born with the feeling that you're special. I know that sounds, and this isn't bold or anything. Yeah, I mean, you really have a feeling that you are here for something, and some people don't have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you know. And it's a matter of just pacing yourself and learning as much as you can learn until the time comes when you're out there. And
right. You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, I mean, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible." The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
That passion is all over there. Why? Because winners win. And fear, and if you can find your way on this side, guys, it's sweeter on this side.
If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow.
It's the unseen work, which you just said is a true statement. Those are false dopamine hits that people are giving you, man. There's no belief in that. These are teamwork dopamine. Like, I'm out running at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, in the gym, long sessions by myself. That's real. How I'm able to just extract dopamine, the good dopamine whenever I want. Man, I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. So whenever times get bad for me, people, all this, who's gonna carry the bolts and luck? That's real. I hate that people know me for that guy, because that guy is not every fucking day. Like, when they see me, they want that energy. That's not me every day.
If you're improving yourself, then what you are doing is competing with your lesser self. And then you might also ask, well, what is that lesser self? And that lesser self would be resentful and bitter and aggressive and vengeance-seeking and all of those things that go along with having a negative moral character. And those are things that interfere with your ability to progress as you move forward through life. So it's very necessary to understand that this is why, I've been stressing this idea of personal responsibility. It's like, well, personal responsibility is to compete with yourself, is to be slightly better than yourself the next day.
Yes.
And it better in some way that you can actually manage. And that's humility. It's right. Like, well, I'm a flawed person. I've got all my problems. Could I be as good as person X? It's like, not the right question. The right question is, could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And the answer to that is, if you have enough humility to set the bar properly low, then you could be better tomorrow than you are today.
I wish more people were more full of themselves. Not in the arrogant way, but I'm talking about a healthy ego to understand, and I understand the ego's difference between I and me. Me's the objective, but to know the I wish more people, I wish we were more full of ourselves. I wish more people in the world were more full of themselves. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way.
And if we really go back and we examine, did Leonardo have a guy off to the side that was thinking 5 years out in the future what he would paint or the technology he would use to paint it? Of course not. Leonardo was the artist, but he also mixed all his own paints. He also was a fairly good chemist, knew about pigments, knew about human anatomy, and combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result. And there is no difference in our industry. The people that have really made the contributions have been the thinkers and the doers. And when you a lot of people, of course, it's very easy to take credit for the thinking. The doing is more concrete, but it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I thought of this 3 years ago. But usually when you dig a little deeper, you find that the people that really did it were also the people that really worked through the hard intellectual problems as well.
When you train alone, and I lived alone for so many years in this misery, and you're able to get out of it by yourself, I can take myself to such a level of real passion and purpose. And like, the feeling I get is something I can't even explain by myself. I don't need anyone. That's why people come to me to motivate them. No one can motivate me. I have a resume full of fucking motivation that whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on, motherfucker. Oh, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the fucking dungeons and the fucking demons that fly. You know. And then from there, it's like, oh, okay, you were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat on the fucking back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you.
You don't have all the baggage. You may have college loans. Respect, it's hard as shit. You may have the expectations of your parents, mentally hard, fake hard. You may have a lot of other things, but this is exactly when you can live with 4 roommates in a basement and eat fucking fast food. Do you understand? This is not when the baby's there. Some of you have babies. This is not when you've been married and you promised. This is not when the world has sucked out all your dreams and hopes yet. You still got this window. And yet, so many of you are so hungry for short-term gains, like maximizing the job that paid you $3,000 more, but it's not as fun, but you want that $3,000. For what? For what? For a new iPhone? For what? You get to live life one time.
He goes hours and hours to the late hours of the night, thousands of them been on that mat wrestling, in the weight rooms, lifting, running, training. And you get to take all those hours, put them all together, and explode them on the motherfucker on the other side of the mat tonight. This is where you get to show them all off. It ain't time to be nervous, it's time to be excited. Time to be pumped up. Then you get to grab all that ability you've been training so hard, and you get to show it off. If you're nervous right now, it's because you didn't put the time in the past, to make the moment today, the present, forever. That's the only time you can be nervous right now. It's when you didn't do the work. You have an untrained ability, colliding with an opportunity, and you're nervous because you might fail, because you didn't put the work in.
Every day that you don't do work, you're going backwards. And it definitely will hurt you, and it'll show up. You can't get away with what you got away with when you were 23. It doesn't work. You have to stay ahead of it.
And for some of you, money's not the issue. You just got to work on being a better father, better husband, better man. Maybe for you, it's just about you don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, you want to build a family. Where are you looking for them? Where are you at? Who are you talking to? What things are you doing? The best service we used to go to every year was Christmas Eve. No service like it. So maybe some of these stories we're discussing could be your form of inspiration to say, man, I'm so sick and tired of being in credit card debt. Why are you? Let's go through it. How can I improve myself? Make that decision. Because one thing's for sure with my life, you're one decision away from changing. Literally, you are one decision away from changing. It's a decision away. You're one decision away from changing your life.
People are looking for that pat on the back. Where is it? Oh, I don't need it. Because what I've done is in the fucking unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the fuck up. That shit makes me fucking nuts. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom.
Go and travel and learn. Go and start that business that you've always wanted. Hook up with those 3 teammates and start that band you've always wanted. This is the time to be massively risk oriented. I know that this is when you're supposed to grow up and go see the world. But guess what? The world isn't what mommy and daddy told you. The world is exactly going to be what it's going to be, with or without the way you thought it was going to be. A ton of shit is going to change. The world changes every goddamn day.
Your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears. See, that's why you have to have big dreams. Because your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears and all your consequences. What makes people go back is you dream too small. See, your problem in life ain't if you aim too high and you miss it. Your problem in life is if you aim too low and you hit it. You messed up now. So when you aim to the moon and you miss, you still amongst the stars. So it kind of keeps you motivated a lot longer, man, to help you push through. Because everybody's gonna have a push through moment.
When I had nothing, I already knew I was driving like Ferraris and Porsches and stuff because I always wanted those cars. I mean, I used to work at a video store, and I used to carry an auto trader with me to read on my brakes, and I used to look at Porsches that were for sale. Yeah. And people always used to ask me, what are you doing with that Auto Trader magazine? I'm like, well, I'm just picking out the Porsche that I'm gonna buy.
Which probably got you a lot of crap.
I did. People made fun of me, and that actually happened. And the great thing was, when I pulled up in this car, it was a Porsche 911, what I always dreamed of having. When I finally got it and I pulled up at the store, you know, I had all these people, some people that were still working at this $7 an hour job were there years after I left. And I'll never forget this, even the boss and stuff, and the reaction of people was like, wow, that is awesome. Is that your dad's car? And all I said to them was, not exactly. And I just smiled and just left.
Frank Sinatra said one time, the best revenge is massive success.
I would rather work 80 hours a week to make $50K and work for myself than have a $75,000, $100,000 job working for somebody else.
Do you see, a lot of people believe that you got to be really smart to earn a lot of money. You don't have to be really smart to earn a lot of money at all. People think you earn money going to work. That's absurd. It's paper. This is not money. This represents money. This is an instrument that represents money. Money is an idea. It's an idea. It's a medium of exchange that we trade for other people's products or services. And if we want more money, we can earn it. It is not that hard. The earning of money is it's governed by an absolute law. Think this whole universe operates by law. Winter never follows winter. If I drop this, it's going to go down. It cannot go up. That's an absolute law. Your perception of this and how to get this, how to earn this, and earn it in abundance has to change if you really want to earn more money. Perception.
It has been proven now scientifically that an affirmative thought is hundreds of times more powerful than a negative thought.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe.
Life is going to work out perfectly for you. All the right things are going to happen to you in your life. All the right people are going to enter your life, and all the wrong people are going to leave in your life. You're going to have a beautiful home in your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to waken up every day of your life next to the love of your life. You're going to have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays. You're going to travel and see the world. You're going to meet incredible people in your life who can help, and who you will help in ways that you could never have believed possible. You're going to be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for this ability you have to help others. Please don't worry. Your life is going to work out perfectly. Now, I suggest that you read this to yourself every morning and last thing at night over the next 6 months, and the change that will happen to you will be unbelievable.
But the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster. an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it. Well, lots of them are competitive. They're low in agreeableness, because that's part of being competitive temperamentally. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad.
Whether you like it or not, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, a lot of us are at war with ourselves. And within that war, you have several battles. Those battles are basically choices. No, I'm not talking about a war that you might find in the Coliseum. I'm talking about a war that's in your brain. That war exists because life has so many choices. Within those choices, you gotta make right decisions. But you know what? Fuck that. When the alarm goes off in the morning, you don't have to wake up. Don't wake up, don't worry about that. When you're in school, you know what? Fuck that, man. It's too hard to study, so don't study. You know what? Don't eat healthy, because you don't have to. So guess what? When you fail, don't blame your mom, don't blame your dad, don't blame teachers. Only person you have to blame is yourself.
Everything that you're worried about is going to be gone like that. The people that are criticizing you, they're going to be gone, you're going to be gone. All this hand-wringing worry and concern over how are people viewing me, and someone said something bad about me and you get so upset about it, is wasted time and energy. Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
If you ask most people what their number one fear is, what do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. Okay, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it because I've had plenty. And now it's just time for me to say I'm tough, because what does not kill you makes you strong. You never believe anything you hear and only believe half of what you see. My mother told me that, and it's pretty true.
As times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as fuck. It's real. It's tangible. I feel it. It comes out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single dark moment of my life to be here. So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. Everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I don't need that shit, and neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need.
Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this ocean that you're going to step into and drown. But as soon as you step into it, you realize it was not that deep at all, and you can keep walking through it. And I just love that visual, because a lot of times when it's like we have this anxiety around this big decision we have to make, if you actually take the step and realize that it's not death, you're not going to drown immediately. There's plenty of other steps you can take from there, even if you get a little wet.
I had an untrained ability very many times. Very many times I failed, and I hated it. That's why failure always is your friend, guys, because you don't like that feeling. It's like when you're in the gym and you're training hard, your muscles doesn't like to be worked that hard. So with the rest of nutrition, your muscles grow back stronger. I didn't like losing. I didn't lose that much, by the way. I didn't like that losing. So when that match was over, my hand wasn't raised, dude, I was killing myself to ensure that didn't happen again. To ensure the next opportunity collided in my favor.
Right now, what you need to recognize is you can afford to. And not all of you, I'm sure somebody will leave a comment and say, I've got a loan. I get it, respect. But that loan is gonna be there whether you go and try to build something for yourself or not, one way or the other. And by the way, you can work at night. This is when you put in the 18 hours a day to make your life that you want happen. And again, because I'm scared, I can hear myself fucking talking. I'm not saying it's the secret, it's practicality. When you are in your early 20s, this is when you can grind at your highest levels, because there isn't all the fucking baggage that comes across from life. It's harder for the 42-year-olds that are watching right now to listen to this advice. You can't just wake up tomorrow and be like, let's go. Because little Sally has soccer fucking practice. And because you've got a million other things that are holding you down. But boy, if you're lucky enough to be graduating today with not a fucking idea of what you're gonna do with your future, nobody's ever been luckier than you. please recognize it.
A lot of it is limited horizons. Limited horizons are like, I use me as an example always. I came from a small town in Indiana where there was a handful of black families. And a lot of people in that town, when you come from a town of 8,000 people, it's like we had a local plant, Great Dane. And you're like, you know what? I want to work at Great Dane and get a house next to my mom. That's what you know. So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream. Many people, but don't make dreams your fucking master. But I was able to dream outside those fucking four walls of that small town. And until you're able to really put yourself into that dream, but don't make dreams your master, that's where you truly become what you're destined to become.
I'm realizing that I have to daily show up for myself if I want my life to be what I want it to be.
Right.
It is a battle. And not only that, but it's like you have to have some sort of a plan. When I used to be a little bit more aimless, I was just like, oh, I want things to be good. It wasn't enough.
The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, that you do it right, the best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we'll remember for. I see them as one and one the same, guys. It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their fucking master. When you become the master of your fucking dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And you say, okay, I'm going to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So, a lot of people out there dreaming.
Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow. So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better.
If I'm grinding on something for 2 or 3 or 4 hours at a time, sometimes it's easy to miss other things that are coming up, and I got to make sure I pull away from things, kind of think about the prioritize and execute piece, figure out, if I need to reprioritize and so I don't get target fixated on one thing and keep going. But I think for me, what I want to do is I try to make time to spend time with my family as much as I can as well. And obviously there's a lot of work to do. There always is, and it's those things. When I can stay consistent on getting up early in the morning, getting a workout in, stay focused on a list that I have from the night before, that I'm following through all the things that you talk about. I'm performing better than I ever do.
Then you've got to take time to cultivate good friends and get away.
I know that about everybody. Like, people love to talk about somebody and keep themselves out of it. And so we went through that journey together. And so it allowed her to come out and say, yeah, fuck it. You know, I'm a big person who, I want to give people the confidence to walk in a room of 1 million people and none of them like you, and you just like say, fuck you, I'm good. And walk out with you by yourself.
You helped your mum do that as well.
And now she can look at everybody and say, yeah, I fucking married a motherfucker that choked a woman to death. I was in a bad place. I'm good with that.
If you just happen to see this video, then you are going to be a millionaire. Say these affirmations for 7 days and watch how much money comes your way. My mind is worth millions. I don't work for money. Money works for me. I am always at the right place at the right time. My name is spoken of amongst the most successful people. Every penny I spend is returned to me tenfold, and I get paid to exist.
Affirmations work. I have an affirmation that I've used for a long time. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this experience, only good will come. And I am safe. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. And I am safe.
If you're not setting a big goal, so big and so unrealistic that people laugh at you, you need to go back to sleep and get a bigger dream and wake up with some passion in your life and start chasing it. Now is the time to step up. Quit living this safe, comfortable, boring, average life. Do something that scares you. Do something that's going to make you alive.
If I can do that for 3 more days, I'll be very happy, and a victory would be awfully nice too.
A victory. To me, that comes off as a little cocky or brash.
Well,
when you come out here, you know what I'm saying, your
I
first
understand.
pro tournament, you say, you know, I can win.
Oh, I understand that. I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's the attitude I will always have. As I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. That's just a feeling
But
I
on
have.
tour, that's not too bad sometimes, though.
That's not too bad, but I want to win. That's just my nature.
You'll learn. You'll learn. You know, I have learned something. I think you're better than I thought you'd be.
Thanks.
Are you better than you thought you'd be?
This early, yes.
Realize true freedom is not caring what others think or say about you, because the more you worry about others' opinions, the more you become their prisoner.
When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, Mr. Carnegie explained, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances, because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. All success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life. Write down a clear description of your major desire in life, the one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, on page 2 of your notebook, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it. And repeat them at least 12 times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth. I ask not, O divine providence, for more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire.
One of the most powerful affirmations you can do is to look in the mirror every time you see yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you.
It's a scary place to be when everyone around you is telling you how good you're doing, and then when you are alone by yourself at night, you look in the mirror and you don't feel like you're doing anything.
You only live once. You best go for it. What is there to lose? At the end of the day, we all die anyway. So might as well go down trying.
You ever notice when you take a wrong turn on Google Maps, it doesn't scream at you? It doesn't say, "You idiot, you failed." It just says, "Recalculating," and gives you another route. That's business. That's life. You mess up, cool. Reroute. Maybe that wrong turn saves you from a worse crash. Maybe that detour taught you what the straight path never could. Maybe that scenic route was the exact view you needed to keep going. So stop yelling at yourself like you're lost forever. You're not behind. You're just recalculating. And guess what? You're still going to get there.
The more you commit yourself to becoming the best person you can be, the more you like yourself and respect yourself, the more energy you have, the bigger goals you set for yourself, the more you persist.
Now, if I could tell you one thing that would make you more money than anything else in the world, it is this. It is that the faster you are, the more money you will make. That your bank account is actually a reflection of how fast you move. I was sitting with one of my mentors, Bill Perkins. I asked him, "Bill, you know, you're worth a lot of money. You've made hundreds of millions of dollars. You've given away tens of millions of dollars to charity. Why do you think you've been so successful?" And he kind of looked at me and he thought for a second and he said, "I move really fast. By the time somebody else has thought about an idea, taken it to investment committee, I've already started, made 3 mistakes, and found a better way."
Speed always wins. Before you think, okay, I've heard this a million times, I don't think enough people understand the importance of speed. What is speed? Speed is getting as many things possible done every single day that get you towards your goal.
If you can't sit still and ignore your notifications and focus on one task for 8 hours straight, never expect to build something great. The biggest risk to your future, my future, anyone's future, isn't our competition. It's the distractions that we insist on keeping in our lives rather than doing the things that we know we should be doing.
You want to make more money? Perfect. Clock in. If you want to become more financially literate, you're going to have to pick up the books and get educated. If you want a better physique, you're going to have to eat healthier food and you're going to have to exercise. Not focused on the future, but focused on what you can do today. And by natural law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
And I'm going to be very, very hard on this one. Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
You have to be crazy enough to think that it's possible. That's how you beat the fucking odds. That's how you create something worth living or dying for. When you truly believe, everything else will figure itself out.
You know, I got special talent.
Yes, you do. And it takes talent to make money, but it takes brains to keep it, Miles.
You want to become a billionaire, then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big, and they think of ways of getting there. It's a mindset.
I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I hadn't gone to school. I didn't have a good job. I owned the whole company. So then I started to think, I wonder how many things I believe are not true. Most people that are teaching don't know what they're teaching. 80% of the people that teach have never done what they're teaching. That's the purpose of life, overcome ignorance, develop awareness. The only way to overcome ignorance is through knowledge. And the only way to get the knowledge is to study. Most people, they finish school, close the book, say, that's over. I'm never going to open another book as long as I live. They're screwed. It's all over. Smart's got nothing to do with it. They have shifted their paradigm. They've knocked the wall down and they built an image and they followed the rules. They just didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was earning over $1 million a year. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. What I was doing, I was reading this every day. I was listening to the recordings every day. I was reprogramming my subconscious mind.
To live the good way, you have to live the hard way for a while, right? I get to say I'm blessed to buy my childhood home. I have a farm in New York. I have the house of my dreams. I fly in a private plane. I'm 56 years old. I've been hustling every day of my life since I was 14. Time. and hustle and failure and getting kicked in the teeth and what you do in the invisible when you think you're going to lose it. I don't think I can make this. I don't know if this one's going to work out. I over leveraged myself. What if it doesn't happen? I put all my money in this thing. It's like, you need all of that to season a man or a woman that can actually handle that level of success. You have to pay your success tax. It's as simple as that. There's no fast path.
This guy stopped me at a stoplight. He was like, hey, Goggins, why am I not getting better? I'm a big-time goal setter. I run half Ironmans. I run half marathons. I go for that new promotion at work. Why am I not getting better? I asked him a question. Do you have fear of not reaching those goals? He said, no. Because that's your problem. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. He's not getting that. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And in there you get better.
If you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid.
If you give yourself 30 days to clean your house, it will take you 30 days. But if you give yourself 3 hours, it will take 3 hours. This means that work expands to fill the time available. So ask yourself a really hard question. Should this thing take 3 hours? Or am I just allowing it to? Every minute that you save is another dollar in your pocket.
This is a problem. If you don't even know what you want, if you cannot write down right now on a piece of paper, this is what I want. If you can't list them, this is what I want, then you can't have it. Because your mind will get for you what you want, but you have to feed it a vision of what you're looking for.
It's not okay to work your life away, but it is okay to work your 20s and your 30s away.
You should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is.
You have the capacity to bounce back from it. You can take bigger risks and move back in with your parents if you need to.
How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out. Where's your limit?
A wise person once said, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. See, great minds can see into the future. Average minds can't see beyond the present. And small minds stay stuck in the past. What idea did you discuss today?